First and Canal, and we all sit on the front porch all the time, and they invited us in for food.
Okay.
And everyone was too scared to do it except for me and my mom.
Well, I appreciate
They're pretty
it.
cool. There's a nice guy named Marcus there that used to be a crackhead who used to hang out in front of
he's still there.
CVS.
Yeah,
He was pretty cool.
he is. I've learned a lot from him.
He had a good folks.
He's got quite a story. We're actually he's been helping the church out, kind of like doing custodial work.
Yeah.
And like as a job, and now he's getting old, you know.
Sure.
And so we're in the middle of a kind of a fundraising drive to pay for his retirement, because he's been under the bridge for 40, 50 years.
Well, like a lot of
And
people
has
have.
no like Social Security built up or anything. So,
Yeah. Well, that's the case with a lot, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's a choice at the end of the day, which
Yeah.
choice is hard to get over.
I think he takes, you know,
You can choose the matter
takes
of
ownership
paths
of his choices.
that you want to go down, you know? Like,
yeah,
there's resources here. A lot of people say that this city's all like blah, 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 and this and that. And it's like, well, you got to just stop dreaming, and you have to open up your eyes, because it's not true. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not true at all.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, a lot of opportunities are out there. It's just people don't want to take them for one reason or another, or don't know about them sometimes.
I don't know about them.
Yeah. So this is on. It's kind of has both of us in there. It's like a wide angle
that's cool.
lens.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're both in there.
Well, that's neat.
I don't want to
those.
set it too far back, because then we won't be heard. But so I'll kind of lean forward. But so my name's Jeff. What's your
What's up? My name's Nicholas.
Nicholas?
Yeah,
Nice to
hi.
meet you. Sounds like you've been in the neighborhood for quite a while.
10 years. something
Okay.
like that.
So, yeah, what's your initial reaction to that question? What do you think happens after we die?
Well, I mean, you ask anybody that question, nobody knows. Nobody knows how to answer that, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
could be a higher power, there could not be, there could be nothing. Yeah, who knows, man?
Yeah. And that's what makes it so interesting. Like, no one can really prove one way or another.
Yeah.
You know?
Me personally, do I think there's a higher? Oh yeah, absolutely. Is it? I don't know. Is it Jesus Christ? I want to say so. Yeah, I identify with that. I somewhat agree with it. I don't know. It's again, how do you answer that?
Yeah. Did you grow up with
especially being on camera too? You're kind of like more.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think really fast and come up with something that doesn't really even make sense or even align.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in a
could
way
it
it's a
be
little
religion?
unfair to like ask people on the spot. You
Well,
know?
some people.
A lot of people have really given it a lot of thought. So
Well, that's good. You know, that's good. Need that.
did you grow up with any kind of a religious
Oh
background?
yeah. More, you know, conservative Christian, you know, parents and stuff. You know, I went to church when I was a kid, and up until probably middle school, maybe even high school, I think.
Yeah.
Just because like the high school like youth groups that were outside of the school were kind of like a place to go and like, you know, smoke a cigarette or like, you know, whatever.
Was
you know?
one of them called Young Life? By
Yeah,
any
it was.
chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know,
that's
so
what
it
I
was kind of
involved with,
cool,
too.
and
Yeah.
you know, and it was like, okay, I'm still like the punk and the skater. I don't really believe in Jesus Christ anymore. I'm not into this shit. But this is not so bad, you know. I get the.
Did you go to any of the camps, Young Life camps?
Maybe when yeah, definitely. When I was young, though, like probably like, you know, grade 6, 7, or 8, or
Yeah, they have
something
junior
like
high
that.
camps too.
Definitely when I was
Yeah.
definitely when I was a little younger, for sure.
Did I ask where you're from?
Michigan. I'm from West Michigan.
So you probably went to Mishindo. It's on the border of Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio.
No.
Because that one usually had junior high camps at.
If I reckon correctly, we went out to like Colorado or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
It was like a week-long thing,
Yeah.
like in a bus. I mean,
Frontier Ranch.
It was really badass, you know, being in like 8th grade. And
Yeah.
I remember taking my skateboard and stuff, and I met like some other kids from like around West Michigan that also skated there, and like became friends with them,
Yeah.
you know, later on and shit.
That was where I had my first. Hey,
You guys all right?
Yeah, what's
doing
going
okay.
on? How you doing?
walking home?
No, I'm walking to my brother's house.
Oh, okay.
See what's
All
up
right.
with him.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal.
Okay.
Doing one of my my videos
All right.
for the church. Yeah.
That's it. Gotta believe.
All right, Patrick.
Okay.
We'll see
you
ya.
guys be safe.
See you,
All
man.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, we just got out of church and he was there. Yeah, it's the church. It's New Life. It's down on. Oh yeah, you knew where it
Shields
is.
or something,
Yeah,
right? You guys are by that.
it's actually on Normal.
Normal, right?
Yeah.
Right. Shields,
Yeah.
Normal. Parnell.
So do you, Nicholas? Do you remember like what they said in them, like a long time ago? Huh?
Not so much, man. I mean, I'm 32, man. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't remember a whole lot.
Did you kind of like? It sounds like you're not involved in church or pursuing your
No.
like religion now. Is that a result of like a conscious decision, or just kind of drifted away, or
A traumatic voyage, maybe? No, not even. No. I found that. So here's the weird thing. Is that I started getting into like punk and hardcore. You know, okay, let me go back to this. Like, in the early 2000s, if you were in middle school and you were in high school or whatever, and you had a skateboard, you weren't the good kid, right? You know,
Right.
but I wasn't a bad kid, actually.
kind of like an alternative sport?
It just
right?
was, and now, so I commonly say that because, like, if you grew up a skateboarder in the 2000s, it'll sum up a lot of questions, you know.
Yeah.
You probably started smoking cigarettes.
I'm
and
before
shit
your
like that.
generation, so
Well,
I
sure,
don't
sure.
understand.
So now that's all accepted.
Yeah.
And it's like it's widely available. It's really cool. And I knew some Christian skateboarders that I really looked up to, and I never played any sports in high school at all, ever.
Yeah.
And I got really good at skateboarding, and with that, later on as I got older, because of the angst thing and the like outside of society or whatever, that led me into like punk and hardcore and going to shows and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Meeting all these people that were always like, yeah, fuck religion, and like, you know, Jesus Christ is the enemy, and da-da-da-da-da, and like,
Yeah.
never anything that was full on like Satanism, you
Yeah.
know, like these people, because that's a religion too, and it's just totally whack.
Yeah.
But it is a thing.
Yeah.
And now, in the past, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years, something like that, I've noticed that all of those people are literally just like this. It's kind of the same. Like, they're now trying to tell people what they think they should believe and what they should do, and that. And all this stuff is backwards. Like, it's literally all backwards now. Even the punks that I know and communicate with, a lot of them are like, you know, if you're not vaccinated or wearing a mask or following the government's orders, then like you're the enemy and stuff like that. And it's just like everything just took a whole.
So the anti-establishment has
become the establishment.
Yeah.
For the most part, yes.
I would agree.
It's nuts. And you know, so I had to kind of step aside and just kind of look at things the way, you know, the way things really are and what you choose. And as I have gotten older and smarter and, you know, have had different jobs and, you know, bosses, coworkers, stuff like that, the Christianity has stepped out a lot less of what you would think of a normal traditional, you know, like
it used to be establishment,
family
right?
value establishment. It's a lot more free thinking. Like my boss right now, I work side by side with him. I cut hair. I've been cutting hair for years. And, you know, he's a Christian. And we've talked about a lot of crazy stuff in the world where it's like, you know, tranny kids cutting their dicks off and when they're 16 and like all kinds of crazy shit that is like totally not, in my mind, like something that I signed up for to be pushed upon. You know, all this stuff. Like, I didn't sign up in a world to be pushed into believing that like I have to think this way and that stuff is okay. Because in the end of my mind, it's like a lot of these things that you see and are pushed upon, at the end of the day, they scientifically just don't add up. And I'm not the enemy, right? I'm not a bad guy for acknowledging that.
Right.
However, you know, he is a Christian. He raises his family well, and he can also hold these conversations, these debates, a lot of the times, arguments, whatever. So it's like, you know what? There isn't really much of a sphere of like this whole like organized like, you know, religion or like religious cult almost. It's not really like that. It's more of an independent, like, kind of free thinking.
I can tell you
We're
that
accepting, and we just want everyone to be okay and
Yeah.
be positive and kind of
Like-
expel that onto others.
like as a Christian, I've grown up feeling like I'm swimming upstream against society.
Yeah,
And so now that Christianity is becoming less establishment and more anti-establishment, it feels more natural
kind
to
of makes
do that.
a little bit more sense, right? You
And,
know,
and
like,
if you look at the history of Christianity, I really think one of the biggest downfalls of Christianity was when in the 3rd century, when it became part of the Roman establishment. And Emperor
Okay.
Constantine said, hey, this is going to be one of our official religions, right? And so then all of a sudden they had to meet in a church and they had to dress up because there might be other people there to impress.
yeah,
You know?
right.
So,
Spectator sport.
I
almost.
kind of think Christianity functions best when we are
individual potential.
yeah,
per
and
se.
and having to struggle against society's, you know,
Yeah.
what society's pushing on us, because it really separates those who believe from those who are just kind of hanging on to the coattails, you know. And so I think for a long time in American society, it was we consider ourselves a Christian nation, and it's the thing to do is to say you're part of a
God
church.
bless America.
Yeah, and now you can be looked down upon for saying
doing
even
all
that you
of the
believe in
above.
God. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen. You know, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Not to close friends of mine, but I do have, you know, connections with other artists and musicians that have like came out as, you know, like being Christian and like finding Christ and everything, and no one wants to talk with them. No one wants to put their records out. No one wants to book them shows. No one wants to do that. And the thing is that they really haven't changed that much. The other people have. They're
That's
still
interesting.
stuck in the same void where it's like, oh, that's now a new enemy or something.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think
There's a
it
whole
is?
myth of like Christians that I was, you know, kind of like that I kind of bought into, that they're trying to get you and they're trying to bring you down and bring you in and stuff like that, and like conform you and all of that, and it's just not true.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some wingnuts out there. There's wingnuts in every organization
For sure.
or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I totally.
but as a sphere, and no.
So it sounds like your angst and your rebellion kind of came from maybe your conservative parents. Like you wanted to establish. I'm saying against them. You know, like kind of establish your own identity.
Well, you know, every kid wants
Yeah.
is you know, take this mom and dad. Absolutely not. But the things actually that I used to be quite against, I'm now for, and I stand side by side next to those things. So it has nothing to do with conservatism at all.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. No.
Do you find anything about the Christian message, the gospel, that you find, say, offensive or?
No, I don't.
I mean, maybe an example like the idea that Jesus is exclusive. In other words, he's the way to God. He's universal because he's available to everybody, but he's exclusive because he's, you know, the Bible says he's the way, the truth, the life.
No, I don't find that really that offensive. I mean, all other religions, I'm sure they all, you know, believe the same, you know.
Well, some, you know, like, some would say, you know, like the Baha'i faith, like their whole premise is all the religions contain some truth, and you know, and what's another one? Oh, the Unitarian Church.
Unitarians.
They try to acknowledge all, and I, as a Christian, I acknowledge, you know, like our common humanity, and the fact that we're all made in God's image, and we need to respect one another for that reason.
Right.
And the fact that we all have a moral conscience and a universal problem, we don't keep it. You know, we know right from wrong, but we we find excuses to break it, you know. And
do
so
it
our
every
common
day.
problem of all people of all faiths is that we do fall short. And how can we have a relationship with our Creator if we're falling short like that, or if we're rebelling against Him, you know? And so Jesus comes and says, He says, through faith in me. And so that's, other religions basically say if you're a good enough person or holy or
then
do
you're good
deeds,
to go.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a gold star, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't find that offensive at all. No,
Okay.
not really.
In talking to people, that's a very common thing, especially, well, I don't want to just say Catholics only, but a lot of Catholics. I guess because this neighborhood is very Catholic, right?
Yeah.
I get that a lot. It's like, man, I was believing in God, but then I found out that there's all these other religions out there, and how can we claim that we're
the
have that
right
exclusive
one
truth?
and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's a extremely hard
It is a
thing
hard teaching, I think.
to tackle and teach. But
Yeah. My take on it is,
I've always actually identified like that. I've always agreed with that. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. You know, I've seen it in front of me. Like,
what, just the
just all these things that point to it. Like, there's a reason why this and this happened, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like. Just right now, like I could tell something was up. Like I'm not really I've been really like down and out these days. I've been battling some demons inside of me, and like just going out for a walk. I said, okay, I'm gonna sit and talk, and it's it's actually really helping me. Like it's working. It's happening right now. Now, I'm not going to say, like, yeah, I'll be in church on next Sunday or something.
Right.
Here's my card, but, like, it's for real, man. The power's real. He's definitely real, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you feel like you have a good handle on what the Christian faith is about, or
Not a little bit, not really. I'm not very educated.
The way I like to think about it for people who have grown up with a Christian background, our minds are developing, right?
Yeah.
And so our memory of Christian teachings usually is based, if we haven't pursued it since being a kid,
You kind of don't know.
we have a kid's understanding.
Yeah,
of it.
right.
And so I try to just challenge people to, okay, now as an adult,
Right.
go back and read the Bible as an adult, or at least certain sections of the Bible, and it looks very different,
Absolutely.
I
I mean, I hated being in school. I didn't want to sit in history class or any of that kind of shit. And now,
You're more interested?
I'm more interested in all of that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, you can join my class. I'm a
it's
high
normal.
school teacher.
Yeah, right. It's normal.
But we all mature intellectually at different rates, and
Right.
so like a lot of people, either their understanding of Christianity is based on their young their childhood understanding, or it's based on the perspective of skeptics, if they have a negative view of Christianity, because they're hearing people pick and choose certain parts of the Bible that sound bad, make bad sound bites,
and make bad points or whatever using this
and
this
so
and this.
so they develop their ideas about the Bible based on that, and they're not reading it for themselves, So it's kind of unfair. So I try to say, hey, return at least to the Gospels, the story of, because Jesus is the central person of the Bible, and get reacquainted with him and his teachings and his life, and go from there.
Yeah.
A lot of the Bible's hard to understand, but that's the basic, place to start. So
that makes for sure. I agree.
So, well, I don't want to wear out my welcome.
No, you're fine. No, you're good.
I just can I leave you with that challenge?
Yeah.
Do you have a Bible?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I do. Oddly enough, I do.
An easy one to read, not a King James. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually really nice. It's nice hardbound, and
Yeah.
Thanks. I have a lot of books in my house, and I try to keep all of them hardbound. I have real OCD. They got
like hardcover.
yeah, yeah. They
Okay,
got
'cause
they
I
got to
was
look
gonna-
really nice.
I was going to give you a book, but it's not hardcover.
I don't want it. I'm picky like that. They all have to be hardcovers. I'll pay an extra $30 if for the hardcover version. I don't care. I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's not crazy. So,
What was your name again?
Jeff,
Jeff? Yeah,
Yeah.
Nicholas, man. Yeah.
good talking with you.
Yeah.
I'll give you my card. You can see. I'll put this up probably later today.
Oh, interesting.
Here, I'll give you that too.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Comic.
swing by the shop, you know? So I say, I'll swing by the shop, you know? Well, I've been debating on it for quite some time, you know?
Yeah,
I'm alone, and
appreciate your openness.
when you're alone, you're not really doing too well.
That's this is where that's New Life, and then
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
YouTube
man.
channel is right there. My name's right there too.
Cool. Yeah, I mean,
So-
like I said, dude, I'm battling little tiny things right now.